can tell you that they love you when they never mean it. True love come from God in the name of Jesus. Turn my back on the king, I committed treason. Thank God he forgives, now his name I'm preaching, screaming Jesus.
What's up, YouTube? You're Inside the Edge, and I'm back with another video. Thank you guys for tuning in, and if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. It helps my channel grow. I will be continuing doing NFL content for you guys. I will be doing game-to-game breakdowns, talking about all kinds of subjects, all different kind of players. As far as the NBA season, that is approaching, and I will be covering a lot more NBA topics as well. So if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, guys. But today I want to get into it. Today I want to talk about the Arizona Cardinals. They had a really good win versus the Los Angeles Rams in a 41-10 victory. It's looking like this was a big victory lap for the Cardinals. Kyler Murray, we've been hearing so much about, him playing the quarterback position, but it seems like he may be a comeback player of the year if he continues to play at a high level, which I think he can when we get into this offense a little bit. But the main person I want to talk about in this video is Marvin Harrison Jr., guys. This was a guy that a lot of us feels like he is the best wide receiver since, Calvin Johnson. And in my book, I think he's one of the best wide receiver prospects we've seen since Calvin. And there's been a lot of scrutiny so far of Marvin Harrison Jr. I know a lot of people feel like, him skipping out in the pro-am, the combine, and just not doing the workouts. Some people may think he was arrogant. He hasn't had the best welcoming, but looking after week one's performance, there was, like I said, a lot of concern. I know a lot of us was like, what's going on with Marvin Harrison Jr.? Kyler Murray only targeted him 3 times throughout the entire game, and he only finished with 1 reception for 4 yards. So that's when, a lot of fans and NFL analysts were questioning his speed, his ability to create separation with other defenders. There was just a lot of question marks going into Marvin Harrison Jr., guys. And like I said, him skipping the workout, a lot of people was using that against him like it's a cover-up. But, looking at yesterday's performances, guys, he lit up the Rams, guys. I think he put a lot of that doubt to sleep. He had 4 catches for 130 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he had 1 for an explosive 60-yard touchdown. And this guy, he averaged 32.5 yards a carry, per catch yesterday, guys. So, every time he caught the ball, he was just dominant. And I think this was a welcoming party for him. I think he heard the noise, and all that motivation motivated him to, play at this high level. And I think that this Cardinals team can definitely contend this year if Marvin Harris can play at a high level. I'm not going to go far as saying the word elite, but this guy looks elite. And this is just off of, week 2 of the NFL season. We definitely have a lot more, weeks to play, long season to go. But looking at this Arizona team, I think he's built for this offense, and he is in the right position where he can excel because he is their number 1 option. And when you look at this Cardinals team and why I think that they can compete this year is when you look at these 3 components, looking at yesterday's game, Kyler Murray, he threw for 266 yards. He had 3 touchdowns. The most important thing, no interceptions. And he had a quarterback completion rating of 81%. So this guy, when he plays flawless, this team can put up numbers, and this team can win ball games. And we've seen that quick sweep versus the Rams, 41-10. It wasn't even a ball game from the start. And when you look at James Conner, the second component at running back, he had 21 rushes for 122 yards, and he averaged 5.8 yards per carry. And that's dangerous when you have a run game that can dominate at the line of scrimmage. And James Conner just brings that element to this football team, which keeps it really balanced. And, again, it gives room to breathe for other receivers like Zach Pascal. They have a pretty good tight end. And I just think that, Drew, the offensive coordinator, he definitely has to keep dialing up plays and, just using everyone on the forefront to their best ability. But I do think that this is going to be a tough division. When you look at the 49ers, Seattle, they're looking to compete this year, and the Rams, I think this is going to be a really tough division. But I think the Cardinals, they are in a really good position. And I think Kyler Murray, just looking at his playing style, I think it matches really well with Marvin Harrison Jr. because the one thing about Kyler Murray, and some people don't like it, is when he scrambles all over the pocket. I like to say he likes to extend plays with his legs, and I think that's what makes this offense so dangerous is Kyler Murray, his scrambling ability, the way he can look up the field and extend plays. I think with him and Marvin Jr., I think they just going to have to continue to just work on plays where if there's a busted play in live time, they both need to communicate on the field to be able to get open. I think, this offense has to run a lot of those plays because Kyler Murray, he just has this special talent about him that he just has this ability to extend plays and allow the play to keep developing and letting his receivers get up the field. And the best thing about Marvin Harrison Jr. is he's a deep threat. He's a guy that's vertical. He can pretty much run any route. But this is going to be a very scary team if James Conner can have the season he had last year. And then looking at Marvin Harrison Jr. being the number one option, with Kyler Murray playing at a high level, you got three elements of this team in the passing game and the running game that can really expose a lot of defenses. And I think they're going to do that with this offense. And I think there's something cooking in Arizona, guys. And I don't want to make this video too long, but for Marvin Harrison Jr., guys, I want to hear you guys' thoughts. I know for NFL fantasy owners, those that benched them for week 2, I'm sure you guys are are rolling around right now like, why didn't I not start him? But we are seeing a true talent in the making, and like I said, in my opinion, I think he's the greatest prospect since Calvin Johnson. And, if you guys think somebody else is in there, drop a comment down below. But I want to hear you guys' thoughts on yesterday's game. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. put himself on the map. I think a lot of doubters, I think he's going to put them to sleep about him being slow. I mean, we was hearing all kinds of things. But again, guys, I think he is a extraordinary talent. And I think Arizona Cardinals has got themselves a special receiver. And I think this team can compete at some point. If we see what they do around week 8, week 9, midway through the season, if this Cardinals team can keep it up offensively, I think they can compete with Seattle, the Niners, and the Rams, guys. So with that being said, how you guys feel about yesterday's game? How do you guys feel about Marvin Harrison Jr.? And do you think this Cardinals team, I know it's early, but do you think they can compete for that number 1 slot in their division? With that being said, I hope everyone's having a good day. Happy football, guys, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.
I can tell you that they love you when they never mean it. True love come from God in the name of Jesus. Turn my back on the king, I committed treason. Thank God he forgives, and his name I'm preaching. Screaming Jesus.